Where to start from? I don't know. I know a lot of people didn't expect much from the Blackstars going into the AFCON 2023. The results in the build up to the tournament were bad. I think the last few decent results we had were in the build up to the World Cup and at the World Cup itself, where a lot of people were inspired and encouraged by the performance against Portugal, the result against South Korea, and then everything came crashing against Uruguay. People thought, well, change of coach, Chris Hughton comes in, a lot of things were going to work out in our favor. But it's been 1 year of nothingness, 1 year of just hoping, continuously hoping that it would get better. We saw that in qualifiers against Angola, against Madagascar, against Senegal. There was nothing encouraging. Winning in the last of those games, sometimes losing, sometimes drawing. Against Comoros, we saw that recently. And we had two decent chances of proving ourselves, and they were all in the United States. One against the United States of America, the other against Mexico. And that was where we actually showed the most shambolic of our performances. And as if that was not enough, going into this tournament where we know that over 4 decades we haven't won, just do something that proves to Ghanaians that, you know what, we care about you just the same way you care about us. People say they don't care about the Blackstars, but on match days, 3 p.m., you should just go to town and see the traffic. People were just hurrying home to catch a glimpse of the Blackstars. And all of this was with just hope. All they showed us was hope. Because how can you play against Cape Verde? We've seen them after Ghana's performance continuously show that it wasn't a fluke. But how do we not show those same kind of performances and also give a good account of ourselves? We allow these other teams to always use Ghana as a confidence booster. That was what it was. That win that Cape Verde had over Ghana was just a confidence booster. We played quite well in that game. We improved our performance in different patches against Egypt, but that was all there was. And to think that against Mozambique, I mean, I kept telling people who were asking me in the build up to that game what it was going to look like, that if you actually go to the AFCON and you can't beat Mozambique, what did you go there to do? I actually bet with my phone. I almost lost it. The guy was just kind. And it's just to tell you how terrible we've been as a team. And a lot of people calling for the dissolution of the Blackstars. It's not going to happen because of FIFA laws and all that. But something drastic needs to be done. And Chris Hughton, as experienced as you are 1 goal up. You were not 2 goals up at the point. You are 1 goal up. Kind courtesy, a penalty. Yeah, Eka football, no, but that's not what we are looking for. We are looking for the team to create chances, for the team to show us something different. There was nothing positive. And in that second half, Chris Hughton decides to play 7 defensive-minded players. So, for about 25 minutes of that game, he was playing Daniel Amate, Alexander Jiku, Mohamed Salou Suarez as a 3 centre-back partnership. He played Ali Seidu, who replaced Denis Odoi. He kept Gideon Mensah on the left wing, and that meant a 5-man defense, right? Now, in midfield, he had Sali Samet and had Baba Idrisu. My God. This is a Ghana team against Mozambique, and we're defending with our lives. A Mozambique team that from the first half had begun dominating when the Blackstars went up by 1-0. 1-0. We started defending. We relaxed. We just couldn't be bothered anymore. Yeah, inshallah football. So we have Mohamed Kudus. He will create something out of nothing. So on the day when he's unable to create, the whole team is defunct. And that's where we are. We are a team that doesn't have the balance. We are a team that doesn't have quality shining through all departments. And so we find ourselves wanting, when we play against a system team, a team individuals, like Mozambique and who are a bunch of, nobodies, but will play as a team. The GFA are to blame. The ministry is to blame, which means I'm blaming government. The technical team headed by Chris Hughton is to blame. And you see, if he has any dignity, and he wasn't trained here in Ghana, this is a British trained coach. Resign with your dignity. Just leave. Don't let Ghanaians insult you on radio and come and sit in press conferences and say the media does not respect you. Leave. You clearly don't have anything to offer us, especially when you decide to bring an aging player. You see, I'm not the type that likes to talk about players and their ages. You will cut this part for inside, right? I'm not the type to criticize players and their ages, because we've seen a lot of players get better with age, like fine wine, right? But Andre Ayew is not fine wine. Andre Ayew is aging, and it's clearly telling. He was jogging on the pitch like there was nothing at stake. His first real action on the pitch when he was introduced at halftime was a yellow card. At that point, he couldn't really get into any serious tackles anymore because he can't be sent off. Remember, in the last AFCON, he was sent off in our last game against Comoros. So he was careful. But all of this for what? Individual record? We broke Ghanaian hearts just to satisfy one man? Is that what we've become now? The whole setup around the Blackstars needs to change. Like I said, administratively, a lot of things need to change. Technically, a lot of things need to change. And the attitude from these players. I mean, it doesn't take a coach to tell you to keep pressing in the 20th minute because the coach is not on the pitch with you. It is a decision made by players, experienced players who care about their supporters. What we have here is a bunch of players who come in here, take their appearance fees, and cannot be bothered. There's no heart and soul in their performance. So, it will continue like that. My last thing I'll say is, if you remember the last AFCON, that was the 2021 one where we crashed out in the group stage like this. One of the coaches said this will be the same kind of performance Ghana will show in the next AFCON. There we are.